Something strange is about to happen. You're going to see something that was always there, right in front of you, invisible until someone pointed it out. Just now, did you notice the clock in this room? You've been sitting here for minutes. It's been ticking the whole time. But until this sentence, you didn't hear it, did you? It wasn't hiding. It wasn't quiet. Your brain just decided it wasn't worth your attention, and you had no idea that decision was made. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, your brain is actively hiding the majority of reality from you? Not some of it, not a little bit, most of it. The sounds around you, the objects in your peripheral vision, the feeling of your clothes on your skin. You're not ignoring these things. You genuinely cannot perceive them. Your brain has already removed them before your conscious mind ever gets the chance to look. And this isn't a flaw. This is the system working exactly as designed. Your brain receives roughly 11 million bits of sensory data every single second. Your conscious mind can process about 50. That means roughly 99.9% of the reality around you is being filtered out before you ever become aware of it. Not by your choice, not with your permission, by a filtering system so powerful and so fast that you never notice it's running. Here's how invisible this filtering really is. In 1999, psychologists Christopher Chabris and Daniel Simons designed one of the most famous experiments in the history of attention research. They showed participants a short video of two teams passing basketballs. The viewers were asked to count how many times the white team passed the ball. Simple task. Eyes on the screen, fully focused. Then halfway through the video, a person in a full gorilla suit walks directly through the middle of the scene, stops, beats their chest, and walks off. The gorilla is on screen for 9 full seconds. It's impossible to miss, unless your brain has already decided to filter it out. Nearly half of all participants never saw the gorilla at all, not because their eyes were closed, not because they weren't paying attention, because their attention was so locked onto counting passes that their brain classified everything else as noise. The gorilla became invisible, not metaphorically. Literally invisible to their conscious experience. The participants weren't surprised by the gorilla. They were surprised that they had missed it. Their filtering system was so seamless, so invisible, that they had no idea anything had been removed. And that's the terrifying part. You can't notice what you're missing. The very mechanism that hides things from you also hides itself. But why does the brain do this? You didn't evolve to experience reality fully. You evolved to survive. And survival doesn't require accuracy. It requires speed. Your ancestors who noticed the snake in the grass survived. The ones who tried to take in every detail of the forest did not. So over hundreds of thousands of years, your brain built an incredibly aggressive filtering system, designed to let through only what matters for survival and discard the rest. That system runs through a region near the base of your brain called the reticular activating system. Think of it as a bouncer at the entrance of a very exclusive club called your conscious awareness. Every piece of sensory data has to pass this bouncer first. Most of it gets turned away immediately. Some of it gets flagged if it looks important or dangerous, and only a tiny fraction makes it through the door. The filtering isn't random. It follows patterns. Your brain lets in things you're actively looking for, things that match your current goals, things that carry emotional weight, and things that feel personally relevant. This is why once you notice something, you start seeing it everywhere. When a friend buys a new car and suddenly you notice that exact model on every street corner, it wasn't a coincidence. The cars were always there. Your reticular activating system just wasn't tuned to notice them. The moment your friend's purchase made that car relevant, your filter updated. Now the bouncer waves it through every time. This works with everything. Words, patterns, sounds, people. Once your filter learns to look for something, the world seems to reorganize around it. You told your brain what to find, and it started finding it. But this works in the other direction too, and this is where it gets dangerous. Once you develop a filter, it starts filtering your evidence. If you believe that nobody can be trusted, your brain will prioritize every instance of betrayal, every suspicious glance, every broken promise. It will filter out every moment of kindness, loyalty, and honesty, not because those things aren't happening, but because they don't match your filter. You'll look at your life and say, look at all this evidence. Everyone lets me down, but you're not seeing your life. You're seeing the version of your life that your filter allows through, and that version looks completely real. This is the mechanism behind what psychologists call confirmation bias. Your beliefs shape what you notice, and what you notice confirms your beliefs, and the cycle tightens until your filtered reality feels indistinguishable from objective truth. Two people sitting in the same room can have completely different experiences of what's happening around them. Not because they're looking at different things, because they're filtering for different things. And the filtering doesn't just affect what you see, it affects what you miss. In a follow-up to the original gorilla experiment, Daniel Simons and Daniel Levin created an even more unsettling demonstration. A researcher stops a stranger on a college campus to ask for directions. Midway through the conversation, two people carrying a door walk between them. During that brief obstruction, the researcher is swapped with a completely different person. Different height, different hair, different voice. Most of the strangers kept talking. They didn't notice. They continued a conversation with a different human being as if nothing had happened. This is called change blindness, and it happens to you constantly. You don't notice when a familiar painting in your house gets moved. You don't notice when someone changes their hairstyle. You don't notice when the background of a scene shifts completely. Your brain renders a map of only what it considers important, and it blurs or erases the rest. It's like a video game that only loads the textures your character is looking at. Everything behind you, it might as well not exist. Right now, this moment, your brain is making choices you'll never know about. There is sound in your environment you've already tuned out. There's a texture of pressure from whatever you're sitting on that has disappeared from your awareness. There are peripheral shapes and colors that your brain decided were background. They've been deleted from your experience, not faded, deleted. Your brain is doing this every second of every day. It decides what is real, it decides what is noise, and it does not consult you. So what does that mean for your life? It means you are not seeing the world. You are seeing a reconstruction of the world, assembled by a system optimized for speed, survival, and pattern recognition. Your reality is a filtered output, a curated feed. And the filters were built by your goals, your fears, your beliefs, and your experiences. Two different people, two completely different worlds. But here's the thing, that filtering system isn't locked. You can shift it. Not by trying harder to see everything, that's impossible. But by changing what you ask your brain to look for. The questions you ask yourself literally tune your reticular activating system. What went well today? Who needs help around me? What am I grateful for right now? You ask those questions and your brain will start highlighting answers it was already filtering out. The good things didn't appear. They were always there. The gorilla was always in the room. You just have to decide to notice. The clock is still ticking. It was ticking the whole time.